You know what I mean? Like these shows, this show like is like very borderline to being as bad as those shows. But like I said last week, it's like shows the finite line that it takes to fucking make a great show great or a good show be bad. There's a line you walk, and somehow they're managing to walk it pretty perfectly right now on this show. There's a level of cheese that doesn't cheese up too much. Maybe it's just the cursing. I don't know. But even then, that when you do cursing, it could just seem like a little fucking forced. You know what I'm saying? If it's bad. It's just a level of acting that's not quite like we're watching. It's not like we're watching, like, you know, Robert Downey Jr. perform on stage or something. But we're watching, like, but we're not watching, like, these fucking, like, the Flash movie and shit like that. Riverdale.
It's interesting because I feel like James Gunn, his comedy does kind of feel like Riverdale-ish. Sometimes in like, specifically in like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when he's been held back. Like, I feel like letting him say like, you know, this comedy works better than Guardians does for me. Or at least Guardians of the Galaxy 2 does for me, because I feel like it's just a little too, I don't know.
On the nose.
Yeah, or it's like some of the jokes are like really lame. I think a lot of the comedy works most of the comedy works at this because it just feels more, I don't know, unhinged. And there's the Guardians
mired in reality is more like,
I suppose so, yeah. And it's just not as constrained. Like, you could definitely tell that there's like a Disney leash on the Guardians movies, so you don't really get the full effect of the James Gunn comedy, I don't think.
Or just like comic books, because comic books are dirty. Comic books are dirty things.
Yeah,
people.
and comic books are goofy, and comic books are weird, and they have like weird moments like this too. Like some of my favorite moments in comics when, they just.
Like
recognize the ridiculousness.
Spider-Man riding around with a paper bag on his head.
yeah. You remember when that happened for a while?
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah,
like it's 2 issues.
It's really cool, and I think even like in some of the movies and like in the Avengers, when Hawkeye is talking to Scarlet Witch and is like, "There are robots everywhere, and I got a bow and arrow." None of this makes any sense. Like, that kind of stuff, I think, adds to the comic bookness of everything, and also relatability of the whole situation, how ridiculous everything is.
That's what you gotta do, is be relatability.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, man.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. I'm joined, as always, by my brother, Bill. How you doing?
Yo. Today, I'm opening this beer.
Today we're talking HBO Max's Peacemaker. Episode 6. Solid Mern impression. A lot of stuff happened in this episode.
Mostly, we don't really have to do this episode because we covered this episode last week because we predicted basically everything that was going to happen in this episode.
We did oddly predict a lot of stuff to happen in this episode.
We don't get screeners.
Before we dive into like the nuances of the episode, we actually talked about this a little bit in the cold open about like the attractiveness of this episode. But I want to talk about something that I stumbled upon.
Talk about it.
I did a little digging, and I discovered that this show is the highest rated streaming service on TVs right now. Like, Business Insider reports that HBO Max's Peacemaker was the most in-demand streaming series in the world. It surpassed The Witcher and Disney's The Book of Boba Fett. Reflects growing popularity of HBO Max originals. Now, does this surprise you at all? And like, what do you think makes Peacemaker like so much more popular than
search thing on the first most searched thing on YouTube is cat videos. Second most searched thing on YouTube is Any guesses?
What?
Any
What?
guesses? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? It's the WWE.
Oh, really?
The second most searched thing and the second most watched thing in all of the fucking world is wrestling. So it doesn't surprise me that you have a bunch of people who are watching this show because think about it. There's people who know who John Cena is because he's a wrestler. There's people who know that John Cena's a wrestler, but they know who he is. And then there's people who just love rock music and glam rock and all that shit, and they're getting their little fucking fix from watching the show too.
Right.
So I think that with all those things combined, how could you not be getting like a big wide variety of types of people? I think a lot of black people are watching this. I think a lot of Mexican people are watching it. I don't think it really matters whether you're white, black, even though it's white boy humor, like it's frat boy, white boy humor. It's not. I don't think it falls in a category where it, only these types of people are watching it because wrestling is one of the most popular things in the world.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I never even thought about that, like being an aspect of like its popularity. But yeah, and like you said, though it does have like the sort of Judd Apatow type of humor. It's still like still very diverse, and it also comes from a weird place of like, it kind of reminds me of this show called Why Are You Like This, where it's kind of like it's all these It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia type characters, but they're like super liberal to the point where they're just like super annoying and terrible. And I just like how like this Peacemaker kind of has people. They have like kind of It's Always Sunny Philadelphia type characters and Why Are You Like This type characters, and the kind of people in between like Abadayu. And and they throw them in this weird DC world, which I think that it is more enjoyable than it has been for me, more enjoyable than the Book of Boba Fett. So I could see why that's just because it's just more fun, and like a lot more just base silliness. But it just really surprised me just because like how popular Mandalorian is and everything, that it was more higher rated than Book of Boba Fett.
Well, Mandalorian doesn't have a show, so that's why it shouldn't have surprised you. The Mandalorian is on sabbatical and didn't do a show till this these last 3 episodes of Boba Fett.
Till he hijacked Boba Fett's show. Yeah, I bet like these were ratings from like I think January 22nd.
I bet you the numbers are way different now.
Yeah, now there's the Mandalorian show. I bet
now they're like, wait a minute, the Mandalorian was on there. I thought he wasn't gonna be on there. I wasn't even gonna fuck with that shit. Now we gotta go back and watch the episode, man. I gotta go back.
Right.
So I think that those are askew. You know what I mean? Like any streaming numbers that you see, go ahead and take it with a grain of salt, because literally a couple of years ago they weren't releasing any of these numbers.
Right.
No one
just
was.
Recently, they started
Netflix
counting that.
Started allowing you to see what they see, which makes me believe that it's also could be funny.
Right. Yeah.
Netflix's funny money.
Numbers.
How do you know that Netflix's numbers are accurate? Because they're giving us their numbers. Where no one's counting their numbers. We need an independent organization that does this, people. Because what you don't understand, Neumann and all them, like what is not Nielsen. What they do is they are able to take an objective measurement so that people can get accurately paid the things that they're owed. This matters big in contract negotiations and extensions and furthering certain television shows. Certain television shows are getting canceled because they can't even prove how many people are watching their show.
Yeah. It's not very famously, Community got canceled from NBC, and then they got on Hulu, and it turned like where they counted the numbers differently, I guess. And also like they weren't taking into account how many people were watching NBC like the day after it was showed live, and turns out they had millions and millions of fans. It's just
it's sickening because it's an unquantifiable amount of people that you're trying to put into this like fucking box and say, this is, here you go, this is how many people are watching us.
Right.
It's really an unquantifiable type of thing, and then they need to let someone independently measure and count these motherfucking streams.
Yeah, there always seems like they're a step
about
behind.
100 million more that they're not counting, or 100 million less. Some people, for some and it depends on what show. I guarantee it. There's certain shows getting way more money, even though they're not getting as much viewership as other shows. I guarantee it. But you can't prove it because they're not going to let you see it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm very curious how they navigate that whole
it's
landscape.
It's goddamn Saturday morning rant time. Let's get started with this episode.
Well, let's dive into the actual episode. So Peacemaker starts out with Myrn. Like we said, our
not
expectation
Peacemaker starts out with Myrn, but
the show Peacemaker starts out.
You got people confused.
The television show Peacemaker starts out. This episode starts out with Myrn confronting.
Yeah, we're on our cliffhanger.
Abadeo. Yeah, we start out where the last episode ended. Turns out, Myrn is a butterfly. Abadeo found out, and I guess everybody already knows except Abadeo and Peacemaker.
Right. Weird that they decided not to tell them. They clearly don't trust Abadeo.
Yeah, and they hinted toward that in the beginning, where Harcourt was like, "You're the only person who doesn't feel like you're qualified to be here." And I think that was also, now in retrospect, her being like, "You're the only person who doesn't know that, like, what's really going on here. So now I don't trust you." So that kind of makes more sense.
No, remember she said that she didn't realize Myrn was a butterfly until the thing blew up in his face.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
So I just think that she's just a spy, and she's trained to kind of catch things that are off.
Yeah.
And maybe she just did that.
Yeah. Harcourt, she's a smart cookie.
I do like how they've softened her up, Harcourt, a little bit. Like, Harcourt, like I was saying, her shit was just way too hype, too amped, too fucking tough lady, too tough guy.
Right.
It was unnecessary. Like, we get it. She's a motherfucking spy working for the government. She's not just pretty lady. I got it.
Right.
I didn't feel like she had to beat that dude up like that in the bar for us to get that issue, get that point across.
Right.
Thought that was unnecessary. But now I like what they're doing with her, like, let's do some conversations. Conversations are nice. She can have one. She's not just an asshole all the time. She's not just a tough lady. She can have a conversation.
Right.
So she has a conversation with Adebayo, and they let her know that, hey, Goff's butterfly, Peacemaker's pet, is the leader of all the butterflies.
Yeah, all the bad butterflies.
Apparently, all of the butterflies are bad because he said he was the sole dissenter.
Yeah, he was
so
the only one who was sensitive.
There goes our theory that there's a civil war.
Oh, right, yeah.
No, it seems like it's just one war.
Yeah, Myrn is all by
himself. This nigga done fucking jump ship. He's a goddamn marauder.
Yeah, and he's still feeling bad about controlling the person he's taking control of, even though he was like a murderer.
He's learned a little acting while being inside of a body of a human, because it's like, yeah, clearly you don't care. And once we realize my fucking theory first of all, I don't think that my theory's dead. I think that it just might be more dangerous for a butterfly to go in the booty hole now, seeing how they go into the mouth. I think they might just be a little bit more dangerous.
I mean, I'm not saying
it's impossible to go through the booty hole.
I think the opening is right there. I think that if there was a situation where somebody had like a full head mask on and they had a rip in their jeans, maybe somebody.
Well, you see how they was busting straight into their heads, like,
whew, yeah, that looks like a.
I mean, shit. They must be able to go straight into your booty the same way. You don't need no ripping the jeans for that. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Motherfuckers ripping straight through your jeans into your booty hole in your butt.
Yeah, speaking of, like, when the cops try to apprehend Peacemaker, because they find out that the White Dragon, Augie Smith, was actually innocent, even though he's a racist piece of shit. Detective Song gets body snatched. Unfortunately,
while they're trying to catch Peacemaker, Vigilante finds it, quote unquote, intelligent to duct tape Goff Butterfly to his back. Not his stomach.
Yeah.
His back.
Interesting choice.
The more difficult of the two. And also, he ends up falling out of a tree and landing on his back.
Ugh.
Breaking the jar. And freeing that lion-ass butterfly bitch.
Lion-ass butterfly.
The bitch said that she was one piece.
Yeah, put up a peace sign.
Peace sign, bitch. You was a liar. You knew you was dealing with these retard motherfuckers who can believe anything that they see on Google. And now you want to fuck with these niggas. I was disappointed in Butterfly Nation at that point.
Yeah, it's bad. Making all the butterflies look bad.
Man.
Even though I guess they are all bad.
Yep. And then Butterfly was like, you know what? This is some bullshit. Apparently, she's like pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
She took over Detective Song, which remember last week, this was another thing that I said, well, hey, we predicted all kind of shit. Because we said, man, that better pay off. This detective investigation bullshit is just stupid and does not matter unless this shit gets paid off in some kind of way soon.
Yeah, I figured they were gonna overlap with the alien investigation, but I did not expect her to infect all the cops and all of the prisoners in town.
She called like motherfucking reinforcements and shit. You know, but that did a lot of callbacks. Like I also didn't want to say this last week, but like we didn't hear anything else about that spaceship.
Right.
That Peacemaker found at the lady's house. And so now that we are seeing, they called that back. They called the spaceships back.
Right.
We saw the butterflies like come down. It was dope. I just probably didn't say anything. I don't know what I just said. I'm hungover. I've been drinking.
Yeah, that was actually a really cool visual. And it's pretty horrifying. Her walking through the halls of the police station and all the butterflies flying behind her in slow motion.
Face fucking everybody.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was terrifying. And now the aliens have this fake Peacemaker manifesto. Now Peacemaker is like America's most wanted.
America's most wanted crazy person. He's like if that was to be true, a true diary.
Yeah, they make him seem crazier than Vigilante.
Yeah,
with this fucking he's like Kevin Spacey in Seven. With this,
that's probably what he's gonna say in the next Vigilante. He's probably gonna say that. He's gonna probably be like, "They're trying to make you look crazier than me."
If we start predicting jokes on this show, then it's
oh my God!
Come on, give us a writing job,
Can
Hollywood.
You just give us the screeners so we don't have to do this. We'll stop predicting your show. Just give us a job.
Just give us a job. Give us some money.
You know what you can do right now, guys? You can like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
And help us get these screeners so we can stop giving y'all the gift of the gab in such negligent manners, man. You know, we don't want to ruin this next episode for you, you know?
I guess we're going to have to start putting up spoiler alerts for this episode and next episode.
Right. Because we be knowing shit. Yeah.
So we only got 2 more episodes left. I think there's 8 episodes in this season. So we got 7 and 8 coming up next. But it looks like shit's about to get really crazy. Augie Smith is in his comic book accurate white dragon costume. Looks like he's about to start tearing ass trying to kill Peacemaker.
Wow. Why do we have to say tearing ass?
I mean, it's just
that was a graphic idiom you used.
I mean, yeah, it's he's gonna start killing. He's gonna start doing bad stuff.
He's gonna start tearing ass. He's just gonna tear booties, tear them.
Tear him up
like paper. Don't say tear him up. Why'd you say that? You say tear him up. I'm gonna tear him. He's gonna tear him up.
He's gonna tear ass like a phone book. Just rip it.
Rip it. You seen the strong man competition when I'm strong man in this butt. Tear these asses.
What do you think? How do you think that White Dragon's gonna play into the next couple of episodes with all this alien shit that's going on?
I think he's gonna get
Do you think he's gonna get face fucked by one of these?
No, he's got on a suit. He's got a mask
great.
on. So I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna end up killing a whole bunch of butterflies and having to like kill Wong, and then he's gonna end up killing a racist guy and end up saving the world. Watch. Watch.
Man, that would be that would be terrible, but also kind of on point with the themes of the show. Of like, just
I
like
didn't say. We can edit that part out.
just varying degrees of morality on the show, from Abadayu to White Dragon. There's like a lot of different levels of morality and craziness.
Craziness.
Or maybe Detective Song was like the most moral before she got infected. I don't know.
I mean, she totally was. She was trying to.
She was.
Released a racist dude from prison, and she didn't have to.
Right. Yeah. And Abadayu was the one who was. She's still, technically a spy.
Stage 5 clinger. That's what she is.
Stage 5 clinger.
Yeah, I just said so. Because look, come on, dude. Her and her wife, quote unquote wife. I only say quote unquote because they have no chemistry whatsoever on camera.
Yeah,
that's not the actress's fault who plays Adebayo though. That's the actress who I said at the very beginning of this series, and I hope you guys go back to episode 1 podcast, Drunk Banthas podcast, covering Peacemaker. I'm telling you, I said it. That bitch cannot act at all. The best acting you've seen her do is in that fucking intro dance routine that they do, that little music number. That's the best acting she's got in her. Swear to God, seen everything she's been in. Terrible actress.
Yeah, I haven't. She's definitely not. We did mention that in the first episode. Not definitely the weakest link, but also the person who gets the least FaceTime in the show. So
right, which we were worried about. We were like, oh God, are they gonna give this girl a fucking like role on this show, or are we gonna have to see this bitch? We don't.
Right. And that's also great. Just the idea of like, oh, can I balance this morally compromising job with being in a relationship? I'm glad that they don't spend a whole lot of time on that because it is an interesting aspect of Abadeo's character, but I'm glad we don't have to see that every
I guarantee
episode.
You there's about an hour of that footage that they've cut from all of these episodes.
Probably.
Like all together, it makes up about an hour, and they've just said, yeah, that wasn't really necessary, right?
Yeah.
What you're seeing is people coming off of that, like, what we're having in a society, in white society, is an overcorrection of what has been going on, like an overcorrection of the norm. Like, oh, we don't have any gay people on TV, we don't have any black people on TV, we don't have any women on TV, we don't have any like whatever on TV, Asians on TV, and now it's like there was this like massive overcorrection where it's like everything on TV got to be gay, everything in the cartoons got to be gay, we got to talk about homosexuality or sexuality in general. It's like things that didn't matter at all, things that we never would put in any action movie, comic book movie, or anything. Now all of a sudden we have to do it. It's an overcorrection. Now we're seeing, I think, the meter come back down to like where it should be. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, we're not going to go back to where it was in the past. But like, let's get this happy medium where none of that shit matters. I think completely they could do without her character, Adebayo's character, having a wife, or even having a wife that's in the like a spouse, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have to be there for any of this to play out for us to get the emotion that she's going through something that she doesn't feel comfortable with and she wants to go back home. Like, I feel like we just don't need this relationship to make it happen. Like, and you know how I feel about most relationship is in television movies like this. I'm like, it's just not helping anything. It's not moving the story along.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely pandering out there to like different people trying to make trying to, like, you know, queer baiting and stuff like that, or just like, oh, here's our token black person so you can watch our show. Right. But I do think that this is just like an example of just like normal representation, because I don't think that this is necessarily overcorrection.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is a bringing it back,
right?
But I do think that they have footage that would have made it an overcorrection. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
possibly.
I think
that there's,
because when I see some of these scenes between them, it's like I feel like there's just a piece that was missing, or a little bit longer, or something like that. Like the conversation was. So that's why I said about an hour of footage from all 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Combined together.
Possibly. I mean, but they probably just cut that just because, like, whether, it's a straight relationship or a gay relationship, which, it's always a straight relationship where you have this character who has who's I don't know if I'm gonna be able to deal with being a cop and being in a relationship.
I always hate those conversations.
Like Ethan Hawke in Training Day.
Yeah, I always hate those conversations. This is completely unnecessary.
Which is probably why they cut it down a little bit, just because it's like, we don't need too much of that for the character development.
What I'm saying is that the before, that's what I'm saying. We've had a correction of the overcorrection. Like, we're coming back to what should be what is normal. We're not going back to what was before, but we are coming back to what is normal, which I still don't like, because I don't like when we put all these relationships and stuff like that into a moment to stupidly describe what's happening to this person, to this character. You know what I'm saying? Like Ozark, to me, the reason to show that Ozark is a great show, and most people love Ozark, Jason Bateman doesn't go around explaining his feelings to everybody. You understand his feelings through his acting. It's transposed through the scene, like, to you. We understand what he's going through because of the things that we see him go through, not because he's explained it to us. And that's the only thing I'm saying.
Right.
I really appreciate it when a writer or a director allows the actors to really act.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that everybody's got their own taste of Kool-Aid. I personally don't mind when there are relationships in movies or anything like that, because
I don't
people
mind
been using
relationships. It's just got to be something that moves the story along. That's what I'm saying.
Right? No, I feel you. And like stuff like that. I feel like, or for Abadayi's character is like just a nice character delve into more of her struggles with her morality, because this is the only person at the end of the day she feels like she can talk to. What we
could have easily gotten that whole scene where she was sitting there talking to her wife, we could have gotten that whole scene from her walking down the street, walking into a little pastry shop, looking at a pastry. They go cut back to her, she's shaking her head, big sigh, walk out the pastry shop. Like, damn. See something that remind her of see a dove. Be like, damn, Peacemaker, that's my homie. I think I'm wrong. We would have gotten all of that without. We would have gotten all that. Text message from her mom. Did you get anything done? Did you get it done? Ignore the text message. Get in the car, drive off. End of scene. Didn't need to have that bad actress in the show. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you just hate this actress a lot.
No, it's just that's usually who they get to be in those scenes. You usually get a person who doesn't need to be in the rest of the show for these little moments like that. That's usually what they do. That's what television does. It's terrible. We don't have to keep doing this.
Do you have any predictions for how this last couple episodes going to shake out with all these forces coming to an end? It doesn't seem like we're going to.
I guess we're just going to have people walking around with blood on their face. I think that's what's going to happen in the next episode.
Yeah, I would have loved it if at the press conference, Detective Song still had blood on her face, just sitting there in front of
what the fuck?
Cameras.
Everybody was just walking around with blood all on their face, but I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is Peacemaker's going to kill everybody.
Oh, you think?
Well, he said, I don't have a problem killing aliens. I just have a problem killing people. Right. How do you feel about that reveal? That now Peacemaker is not wanting to kill people.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's it seems like they've been leading toward that this whole season with them differentiating him from Vigilante. And
Peacemaker's going to have peacemaking bullets that are non-lethal.
He's gonna have rubber bullets or something. Yeah, that'd be interesting turn for him.
It would be. Maybe we get that in the last episode. Peacemaker shooting people with rubber bullets that fucking give motherfuckers hernias or some shit. I don't know.
Or comes up with some more non-lethal helmets that don't explode people and destroy parking lots
or something. One of them gives you scabies.
That-
Remember that one? There was a helmet that gives
Yeah,
you
there was a-
scabies. So
yeah.
maybe he just does that to people, not to himself.
Yeah, instead of just giving himself scabies.
Why would you want to give me scabies?
Everybody should have scabies.
Everybody should have scabies.
Fucking weird.
Like, okay, Dad. You're my dad. This is weird.
Yeah, this I'm expecting it to be pretty wild. These next 2 episodes. It only feels like there's maybe one more episode of, like, I don't know. I'm very excited to see how they stretch out the next 2 hours of story.
Exciting.
But we shall see how it all shakes out. I'm expecting, if we do get aliens going in the butt, we're gonna get a butt babies joke callback.
Butt babies.
It's too good. It's too damn good. But I didn't mean that
Butt
to be a
babies.
butt. But thanks
Butt
for
babies.
listening.
But babies.
But babies.
But babies.
But babies.
But babies. Let me
But,
ask you a
comma,
question.
babies.
Don't forget, you guys, put your comments in the comments. Best comments will get a t-shirt. We're gonna pick a winner someday. Just listen out for your name. It'll be on the next recorded podcast. We're going to name 2 winners.
Okay.
So you got to pick one or 2.
All right. Yeah.
You got to pick 2 comments.
Sure.
So we're going to pick 2 people. So just comment. And make sure you're subscribed, because if you're not a subscriber,
We probably won't be able to tell.
We will ignore you. We will come to your house. And we will stand outside and pretend like you do not exist.
Yeah, we will Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, come to your house and just beat up your
Children.
children.
Just your children. I hope you have no children, because we will whoop them. We'll beat them in the face.
Thanks for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every once in a while, so go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, comment in the comments so you can get updates on new episodes of the pod and new video essays. Till next time, stay safe, my little butt babies, and may the force be with you.
But babies.
Babies, butt babies.